Hey everyone, and welcome. Today we are going to tackle a powerhouse of English grammar that, can be a little bit tricky sometimes. The past perfect tense. But trust me, by the end of this, you'll see it as your secret weapon for telling really clear, compelling stories about the past. So let's start off with a little timeline puzzle. Picture this. I got to the party. My friends left. Okay, so who was actually at the party when I walked in? Was it my friends? Was it me? Both of us? It's kind of confusing, right? The order of events is totally unclear. And this, my friends, is exactly where our hero, the past perfect, swoops in. Its job is actually pretty simple. It's all about showing that one thing in the past happened before another thing in the past. It just wants to establish a clear timeline for us. So let's go back and solve our little puzzle. Using the past perfect, the sentence becomes, "My friends had left when I got to the party." Ah, see? Crystal clear. This tells us, without a doubt, that my friends were already gone. I probably walked into an empty room. Problem solved. Okay, so now we get why we need it. Let's dig into how we actually build it. And I've got good news for you. The formula is incredibly simple. It really doesn't get much more straightforward than this. It's just the subject plus the word had plus the past participle of the verb. The third form. And here's the best part. It doesn't matter if the subject is I, you, he, or they. It is always had. So easy. Want to make it negative? Just as easy. You just slide the word not right after had, which, let's be honest, we usually just squish together to make hadn't. Like in, she hadn't finished her homework. Simple as that. And what about questions? Well, you just flip the subject and had. So instead of saying you had finished, it becomes had you finished your work. It's a simple little switch. So yeah, the structure is solid and really easy to lock into your brain. Okay, we know how to build it, but when are the key moments to actually use it? Let's break down the most common scenarios where you'll want to pull this tool out of your toolkit. There are really three main situations where the past perfect is your absolute go-to. Think of them as its three most important jobs: showing the sequence of events, explaining cause and effect, and for reporting speech. Let's take a look at that first one. First and foremost, its main job, its number one gig, is to show sequence. Look at this. She had left the house before it started raining. So which action happened first? Her leaving. The past perfect, that had left, makes that perfectly clear. The rain came second. Second, it's absolutely fantastic for showing cause and effect. I was tired because I had worked all day. Why was I tired? Well, the reason is the work that happened before I felt tired. So the past perfect helps explain the why behind a past feeling or situation. And third, you'll see this all the time in reported speech. That's just when you're telling someone what another person said. For example, he told me he had never been to Paris before. The action of not going to Paris happened before the action of him telling me. All right, this next part is so important because it tackles the number one point of confusion for pretty much everyone. Past simple versus past perfect. When on earth do you use which one? Let's clear it up. Okay, here is the crucial difference. You use the past simple for a single, standalone action that's finished. Like, I ate dinner at 7 p.m. End of story. You only need the past perfect when you're connecting two past events, and you really need to show which one came first. I had eaten dinner before my friends arrived. The eating happened first, then my friends showed up. Now, let's zone in on a really common mistake. I hear this one all the time. Someone might say, I had went to the store. Does that sound right to you?
Nope. The fix is I had gone to the store. And why? Because the rule is absolute. After had, you must always use the past participle, that third form of the verb, and for go, that's gone, not went.
Here's another one you'll see pop up all over the place. She had ate dinner. And again, the fix is just to apply that one simple rule. The past participle of eat is eaten, so it has to be she had eaten dinner. Seriously, once you remember that had is always best friends with the past participle, you've totally cracked it. Okay, you have got the theory down pat. Now it's time for a quick test run, just to make sure all this knowledge really sticks. Let's do a little practice.
All right, here's the first one. How would you fill in this blank? I blank finished my work before he arrived. Take a second. Think about that formula.
And the answer is, I had finished my work before he arrived. Because the finishing happened first, right? Excellent. Let's try just one more. They blank leave when we got there. What do you think is the correct form here?
Of course, it's they had left when we got there. Their departure happened before our arrival. See, you've totally got this.
So there you have it. The past perfect isn't some scary, complicated grammar rule. It's your tool for becoming a master of time in your own stories. It adds clarity, it adds depth, and it turns what could be a confusing jumble of events into a really clear narrative. So, the next time you're telling a story about the past, how are you going to use this tool to make your timeline not just correct, but truly compelling?